said going live was easy. It might be free, but it's not easy. Kom. Maak oop. Okay, well, I have to wait until I can see the stream on, if you're here for 35 seconds watching this video at some other time. Like, I have no idea what's going on today with the stream. I don't even know if the rotation is right at the moment. So, oh, seems like it's great. Seems like I can hear myself. So I'm gonna remove this cord from the way. And why are we here? No one really knows, but we're here. Should we have come? I don't know. We're here so that I can just kind of keep up momentum on my calendar thing. And I started, so maybe a recap. I'm doing a calendar, 12 pictures is what it currently is at. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. It seems I've got green paint on my box. Anyway. 12 dog pictures to make a dog calendar of my dog, and I wanted to work out what the calendar could look like and what the color palettes could be and the motifs, etc. So after the live yesterday, I kind of went my own way because yeah, I just couldn't stop, and I was just testing out some Zen tangles because I'm quite sure that's what I wanted to do. I was testing out some art supplies and also not art supplies, like this is eyeliner, and I just wanted to see the different colors that I could use to do doodles or Zen tangles. And then I started using color pencil and I really loved the texture, so I decided to maybe try and go that way instead of just Posca pen, so I could have a little bit more texture on the picture overall. And then it hit me that the most amazing thing to use when I want like a color pencil kind of texture is Neocolor 2s. So I brought that out and I just did a few like marks and I love it. So I'm quite sure that's where I want to go, but I'm just having an issue with the Neocolor because they're crayons essentially and they're not very sharp, and I don't know if I'm up to sharpening them. Maybe I can cut them. I wanted to say on a bias. I don't think that's the correct term. If this is the crayon, maybe I can use a knife to just cut it so it looks a bit like a lipstick, I guess, and use that tip. So that's something I could do. The other thing is maybe if the paper's really big versus trying to like draw a doodle in the small block, that I can do a big doodle. So that's where I'm at. And then I also realized I probably need to investigate how to take a proper photo of something and a printer, because I didn't think about that. Why would I? Where I'm at the moment is I'm taking this palette from here and I'm transferring it here to a grid. And the reason why I decided, let me live stream it is because as I was painting this, I was going through a few variations of orange. So I think it's actually the same orange as I originally had, but I was testing out darker oranges, lighter oranges, because as much as I put the color palette down here, like maybe there's some fussing or some, I don't know, maybe there's something that I could do instead, some changes. So I thought I would just do it, and because it's like not scheduled and not whatever, I just thought it would be easier instead of going someplace and then having to explain a whole lot of stuff. I'm gonna try and keep this one short. I'm gonna say 30 minutes, which is quite long actually, but like just for myself, seeing that little red circle really helps me keep aware of the time. I have time blindness, so that's helpful. And yeah, this is today's pajamas. And I'm drinking carrot juice, carrot and apple juice. It's delicious. It's very sweet though. if anybody wanted to know that important bits of information. So currently I'm working with autumn. And it felt so weird yesterday because obviously I do a lot of self-judgment after I'm done with something. And I thought, why would I start writing autumn? Why did I write quarters? Like my husband and I were kind of having a good giggle. But I think it's because it's the season that we're in. So yeah, it's not that I didn't learn seasons in school in South Africa. I'm trying to really just follow my urges. Like if I want to make a video, just kind of coming on here and doing it. I'm trying to, I guess, remind myself that like this is not so serious. Like somewhere along the line, I became very serious, I guess, about what I was doing. I know what that is. It's because when you represent other people, I guess you just become serious because, you know, I think I've said this before. You don't just represent yourself then. Like you represent somebody's company that they've worked really hard to build. And you don't want to be the clown in the, I don't know, clown car. But yeah, I just want to make stuff, man. And if people want to watch, they need to watch. If they don't want to watch, you know, great. Like I just want to do stuff. I read a book last night. Well, I completed the book actually. I didn't read it all in one night. I think it took me like 3 nights or something. I'm having trouble getting this color here that I got, this mustard and a titch of sap. There's something not gelling here. I don't know if it's about putting some red in here maybe. Yeah, that was it. It was called Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. I only started reading Terry Pratchett when I was a young adult. Like before that I didn't really even know about him. But my brother introduced me, he was a kid, to the movie A Color of Magic. And it was just so awesome because we both liked Sean Astin, the actor from The Lord of the Rings. He just has such a good energy. And then, yeah, I started reading Terry Pratchett books and I've never been disappointed yet. And this is one that was kind of on my list, but I thought, ugh, you know, I didn't want like some boring kind of old school like Tolkien religion, or like, you know, like some snarky Tolkien like religion, but it was anything but that, at least to me. Okay, so I don't know about this mustard. I feel like it's quite different from this one. I feel that this one's maybe lighter, maybe a little bit more livelier, so I'm trying to mix the right color. I guess I could just go and watch the video and see what I did. Yep. Okay. I am struggling with this color, which is quite surprising because... Is it? No? Yeah, okay. There we go. Now I think it's right. Or maybe not. Maybe I should just let it dry. Yeah. The next color was this, I think, with a green. So just a brown color. I think that's what that was. Let's double check. No, not really. It was more red than that. Yep, it was kind of like that. So let's get some red on here. It's already been 5 minutes and kind of still faffing here. Yeah, I think that was it. No. Yellow. Ugh. I mean, obviously I should probably have the color like opened and look at it. I think let's do that. I think I'm being a little bit silly. Yeah, okay, maybe this is going to help. Now I can actually see like the color. I can also just touch it on when I'm done mixing it. The problem with these is they really do dry a bit differently. I would say they dry a bit darker. So it doesn't feel as safe as acrylics. Like when I'm mixing acrylic paints, I feel like the color shift is still there, but it's not as hectic. It could be the type of medium I'm using as well. This color is off. I'll come back to that. Okay, what else have I been thinking while I'm mixing color? Let's get winter done, because winter was a quick one. I have been thinking, what have I been thinking? I think I decided that this would be, well, that's December. Okay, I did that. Oh, crap. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. I can sort this. So I wanted to put it in order. So I would have like August, September, October, November, December, January. But I just mixed up the color. That's fine. So I had an idea to, you know, everybody's getting prepped for Inktober. And everybody wants to make nice, cool stuff. And then I saw somebody's doing like Spooktober, somebody's doing Bloomtober, and I think I felt a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I can only describe it as goblin. And I thought, well, why not something like Guktober, where you're just encouraged to make shitty stuff. Whether it's shitty in the kind of execution, the type of thing, the intent of the art. So I think I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to make like my own set of prompts called Kaktober. Obviously, I'll share them with my newsletter, and whoever's like, I'll put whatever. I'll share it wherever it needs to. Maybe I won't. Who knows? The Tamara that makes decisions today has no power over me in the future. Anyway, I'm going to do the Kaktober thing. Kak is an Afrikaans word, and it means S-H-I-T, shit. I spelt it out so that I could say it out. And some of my ideas were kind of like take a picture from a magazine or like a famous artwork and deface it. Just like, you know, as a kid, I don't know if anybody was destructive, because this feels destructive but also mischievous, like drawing horns and blacking out teeth, and especially when it's somebody like you shouldn't, so like the president, or I don't know, like some religious figure, you know, all these things that we hold as taboo. Sometimes are old, like grandma, you know, we all need to be nice to our grandparents, but not when I was a kid with a magazine. I particularly liked, I can remember like Tom Cruise was like a big thing when I was a kid, because he was doing Top Gun and all that stuff, and I would love to deface Tom Cruise's face. I don't know what it was, probably because he was so handsome, and I was raging against like my feelings of thinking that boys were handsome. So because he was a boy, right? When you're a kid, you don't really have sometimes this understanding, just in case anybody comes and calls me a reverse groomer. Cool. Autumn done. Good job, Tamara. So yeah, Kaktober, defacing. I was thinking of like writing a really shitty poem. So it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be... yeah, I think poetry is something, you know, we don't want to, at least I don't want to deface it. But I'm gonna go for it. I think it's something I want to do, something I want to try. I can't remember when I decided that this was summer, did I decide like this was the start, this was the middle, this was the end. But I think this should actually go here. Oh, I took more sap green out, but I have so much here. Wasting. Yeah, Kaktober. the other things would be, it's just all silly prompts, and it's all not related to like physical, like painting art. Like, take a really horrible, I actually, so I watched Struthless this morning, and I just want to like disclaimer, I had this idea before I watched him, so he can go to hell. I love the guy. But one of his ideas was like make music with the sound. And the other day I took my husband saying something really stupid and I made a song out of it. So I was thinking like we could, or I could have that on the prompt list. And it's not even about spending a lot of time painting or making the thing. It's just about getting the thing done and going. That's kind of what I envision for this. And I think because everybody's doing a challenge too, it's a really cool time, you know, this collective energy. I really believe in stuff like that, you know, when it's January. I know that maybe like setting goals is not everybody's cup of tea, but I think there's a lot of power in that time of the year. So if you wanted to set a goal, I think that's like a great time to do it. So I'm thinking like Inktober, which is really a big thing in the art community, would be a perfect time to do my stupid thing called Cocktober. So yeah, I will probably spend some time this evening making that prompt list. It's a very slow Saturday for me, like every Saturday. I am definitely a homebody. I have not seen the inside of a club for many years, and I'm very okay with that. I don't want to go back there. So I will spend my Saturday doing this. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think when I really love that I live in Poland because I feel a lot more freedom to be myself in terms of like what I want to do without being judged for it. Or like kind of being told that like I'm like not wanting to be a part of a team or not wanting to like, oh God, is this really what I want to talk about on a live? I've got 15 minutes. There's this horrible thing that people say like, oh, you don't want to do X because you think you're better than us. And if anybody knows me, like I have varying levels of self-esteem depending on like who I am for the day, but generally like overall, I don't think I'm better than people. I have low self-esteem. I've had a lot of wonderful input that tells me just exactly how shit I am. So I still carry that. And like when people say, oh, you think you're better than us, it just, I don't know why, it kind of like really triggers me because I don't. I feel so misunderstood. I also feel like what do you say to that? At least when I was a young adult. Now, I don't think I really care as much. Like if that's your takeaway, because I don't want to drink with you or club with you or follow the status quo, like what can I reasonably say to somebody like that? That's not my work to do. It's not my burden to handle. I can't remember how these colors were supposed to progress. I know I put this in the middle and now I'm doubting that. Maybe I should have put this here, and I don't know. Does it matter? Yeah, it matters to me. So yeah, I don't club anymore. But I enjoyed my clubbing days. I don't know if clubbing culture is a big thing in the entire world, but at least it was quite big in South Africa, in the circles I was in. And I had fun, especially like when I was with my cousins and stuff like that. Like there's some memories, but also those were such dangerous times. Like a whole group of people together with no developed, like brains not fully developed, drinking a whole lot of alcohol and going to places where they are frankly just dangerous people, you know. So I was really lucky. We were really lucky as a family, I think, or whoever I went, that there were no casualties. from, oh my god, it sounds so dramatic now, but like from the things we were a part of. Yeah, but I also guess it's like a rite of passage for a lot of people too. So like no judgment here. Okay, my palette is like, I'm gonna see if I can find another one because I don't feel like cleaning that one. Crikey, no. Maybe I can just clean this one quickly. Oh, gross. One of the most grossest experience I had in the club, let's just talk about it, was I think I had just finished school, like it was 2 years. My dad had passed away already. I was definitely using alcohol to cope, but I was only doing it in like social settings. But because we were going out every weekend, so Friday, Saturday, like it was easy, you know. I could only cry. The first time I ever cried, like really deeply and for a long time, was when I was inebriated, because that allowed me the freedom to cry about my father having passed away. I had a very good relationship with my dad. God, but I was that young, and I was in the club doing my thing with my friend, just really going there to have fun with my friend, and we would like dancing. And one of my teachers were in the club, and it was our science teacher. And it was so weird to see, first of all, my science teacher in the club. But what was even more weird was when he started dancing with us in a way that was not necessarily celebratory? Blah. Whatever. See, it should have been my English teacher in the club. And that was such a weird moment. It just kind of broke my brain. I'm not going to say his name, but I couldn't believe it. And then at some point, because obviously you're young and a lot of us have been trained to be polite, so I don't want to like overreact and tell Mr. Beep, like, sir, you're freaking me out. And then sir was like, oh, can I get you a drink? And I was like, sir. No, sir, you can't, because we call our teachers sir in South Africa, like their names, sir, whatever. And I think in that moment he remembered. And he said, okay, Sagadevan. So he knew who I was, because that was my surname. And that was the day I was like, oh no, this is a weird place that I'm in. I mean, I'm laughing about it now. If I heard something like that happen to my niece, I would foam at the mouth. But yeah. So that's my story. One of many stories. I mean, that wasn't a horror story, but it was very uncomfortable. You know, I think what's this thing? We're all in the club, or we're all friends in the club. Yeah. Some of us are teachers in the club. And don't get me wrong, you're a teacher, you can go to the club. But maybe don't grind on your students. Ugh. Okay. So I've not been talking about this as I've been going, like what I'm doing, but I think I've roughly got the colors correct. Even this, now that it's dried, it's not that bad. It's a little bit darker, but you know, I can live with it. I just have to get this yellow, and I can't remember how I got this very light yellow that's on here. So this green I remembered because I struggled with it, but this yellow, is it just a variation of this, or like how did I get this yellow? I can't remember. Did I mix it with white? I mean, that's what it looks like. Let's try. Also, I'm definitely going to have to get another tube of this if I'm going to be painting on such a big format. So what am I planning to do after I'm done with this? I wanted to draw my dog. Like 12 little thumbnails, just rough, nothing nothing too accurate, and put it against each of these backgrounds to make sure that the black and the white don't get lost. Because, you know, my dog is not like... I'm scared the white might get lost against this, maybe against that, even this yellow that we're making. And same for the black with these two because of the values. Even this one. No, actually not this one. I've tried this one before. So that's the thing. But 3 a.m. Tamara was like, you don't have to paint 12 dogs. You can just paint one dog and move him from block to block. So that's what I'm gonna do. After telling you about my Saturdays now and my Saturdays in my past. Yeah. I like the times that I went because I wanted to. I just don't like the times that I went because I felt forced to, or because I was told I didn't care, or I thought I was better than other people, blah, blah, blah. Or just like, maybe even... Yeah, let's not get into that. But a very good memory I have of going to the club like this is, or a few good memories is, and I mean, some people might get upset at this because you're going to a den of iniquity. But we would all stop the car. I have a very big family, and family, friends, whoever, we would stop the car on the way, or in the car on the way, we would pray. And we would pray that we would all be safe, and that the problem people would behave, and like it wasn't just a joke, it was something very serious, and that we would just like cover ourselves with the blood of Jesus. We were all Christian, and it was just a really nice moment. And like every travel we make, like even me now, like every time we leave the house, there is still this thing in me where there's it's prayer. That's what it is. But that's a really nice memory. I really liked that. And the other thing that I really liked was, okay, so 3 things. We would come back home and it would be very late. And usually we would go and stay by my eldest auntie, who is very respectable and very, yeah, she's just fun. But she would be very upset because we were coming home so late. And obviously we would all be in various states of drunkenness. That's what it was. And it was always interesting to watch how people would pretend to, like, because obviously you don't want to be disrespectful. Like your auntie is seeing you like stumbling around, or... And then everybody would just suddenly become like a bunch of serious drunks. And obviously we weren't fooling her. Like, I mean, duh. But she would still kind of play along. And the next morning was just brutal, because she would come and she would like bang the pots, or she would shout at us and she would say, "You came home from the club at 3 a.m. Look at your feet, how dirty," because we were gross. We would just jump back into the bed. Our feet would be sticking out and it would be dirty. "Oh, don't wash your feet." And then she would say, come to church. And now you had to wake up for church feeling like really crappy. And also they're Catholic, so no offense to the Catholic people, but I wasn't used to that kind of church. Like, I grew up a Pentecostal kid, so we had a lot of music, and like I feel that kind of clapping like keeps you awake. And it would be such a like, will we have to go to church? Won't we have to go to church? And usually we didn't. But the house needed to be cleaned and the food needed to be cooked when she got home. And my cousin usually did all of that. My cousin was a very good cook, a very good cleaner. So yeah, i.e. I was lazy. Okay, so this is my dog that I'm just using as a test piece, my little baby. I love him so much. Feeling is not mutual. I would like a piece of string. Sorry. I'm just laughing because I'm saying I would like a piece of string. And like, are you going to magically make some string appear for me? I don't know. I also don't know where my string is. Oh, here we go. Here's some string. But I also need a scissor and I don't have one. So let's just do this. Okay, here we go. I've got a piece of string. Why do we have this piece of string? Well, I have it so that this guy won't get lost. But in the meantime, let's check this out. So, yep, that's perfect. This is perfect. I love that. I love this color. There's so many greens here though. There's 5 greens. Maybe 4. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is not my favorites, but sure. I don't like summer anyway. Okay. Oh, I like this color, man. I like this too. This looks more though. This reminds me more of summer, so I'm not sure now about this one. Maybe I can mute this more with a bit of green. So I'll try that out. I love this. Yeah, that I know I love. That's fine. That's fine. Hey, you know what? Like these 2 colors, maybe I'm not so sure about. So I'll try and fix this one. I'm okay with keeping this one the way it is. But yeah. So what am I going to do here? I'm just going to make a little pendulum so I don't forget. And hopefully you don't forget all my stories about when I was young in the club. Doing stupid things. And let's just put it here. Is it long enough to reach though? Ugh, yeah, man. Let me put it here. I'll just paint over that if I want to make it look lacquer. Okay. So, ding, 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 ding. I can test that. I'm really happy with what I did here. And guess what? My little clocky has not run out yet. My clocky fantoki. So what I'll do is I'm going to just give myself like 5 more minutes. This is this clock. Love of my life. One of my many loves of my lives. What do I want to do? I actually don't know. Maybe I won't do that here. I'd really want to try these things against here. But I don't think now's the time to find the right color. I mean, it is Saturday. I might not be going to the club, but I do need to eat dinner. So I'll come back. I want to try going forward not to do any part of this process off camera. Even if it's all 1,000 lives, I'm fine with that. Because that's what I want to do. Whatever. So yeah, I might come back here though. Just, I can see here there's like 2 different shades. And I want to bring it more to this shade. And yeah, let's try and sort this orange out if it really is a problem. Maybe I just need to step back from it. This is my color palette. This is my dog. This is my thumb. This is my finger. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I do see that there's 4 people on the live stream. Whether you were here all the time or none of the time, whether you're just listening to this while you're taking a big poop on the toilet, thank you. I'm really glad that you decided to spend your time with me. And yeah, I'm going to work on Goktober, which means Shittober. I'm going to do that prompt list and, you know, maybe we can do some Zooms together and we can create together, but I want to do that. So let's see how that goes. It doesn't matter if you join or not. It doesn't matter if you do it or not. What matters is that I get it done because I have main character syndrome. That's not true. Okay, goodbye. Keep safe. God bless. Be nice to yourself. Please be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I always want to pass that along. I learned that from my art teacher, Cinnamon Cooney. And yeah, I'm going to keep on saying it until I stop doing art. Cheers. Imagine if I could just end the live stream, bro.